take a trip across the galaxy and feel the waves of our own energy.
Hello and welcome to the Scip Squad podcast, where it's not about what you write, but about what you love. Here I am with Tstaffor and Luxaiko, both of whom are going to prison for counter-revolutionary crimes.
Well, I mean, okay, you did pretty good. You did okay. I think you said a couple off-kilter words, but other than that, I give you the seal of approval. So,
well, I don't.
Are we doing an intro? Is that just the whole intro? Are we done?
Alright. Hi, I'm UraniumEmpire. I'm a person who has read stuff on the SCP Wiki, and these two lovely people want to know what I love about the SCP Wiki. Or at least, what articles I love about the SCP Wiki.
Aw, did you say lovely? That's so nice of you. You're so sweet. Sorry, I'm trying a new persona because every other guest that's been on has actually left crying because I'm too mean to them.
But it's the content. You can't just be nice to people. No one watches that.
And I just feel bad, you know? Because they cry so much. Like, it doesn't stop for days.
That's what you need for the art.
I'm gonna get AHT.
It's a requirement.
Bent. I'm gonna get AHT bent.
Don't worry, I've been dead inside since 16.
That's great. Article. What's this one?
that was very quick.
We're so good at prepping our guests for what they need to do. We're incredible at it.
It's 2094.
Good.
What just happened?
You have read the articles, have
Uranium,
you?
this isn't what it's usually like.
Oh,
I
it
think
100%
Tstaffor's
is.
dying.
What are you kidding me?
I think Tstaffor's dying. No, I don't know what's happening.
I'm dying of heat stroke. I am dying of heat stroke.
I think so.
Amateur hours.
This is sad. So, yeah, 2094, also known as Motormouth by PeppersGhost, which I'm glad we could get that in early. Our normal PeppersGhost streak.
We did it. PeppersGhost, we've done it. Fancast.
You're going to see a lot of author streaks.
You know, that's true, but we only honor PeppersGhost. Anyone else, we don't give a shit about.
We've been an official PeppersGhost fan cast since episode 1.
Yeah, it's special, you know? I'm sure you know what special is, huh?
So what you're saying is PeppersGhost will never be allowed on the show?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that would make it a fan cast, then would it, huh?
Wow. I cannot believe you two. You
well,
discriminate against him just for... I don't know how to make this a good joke. Let's just go to 2094, which is
sure.
Good article. I love it.
Go on. Tell us all about it.
Okay, so 2094 is an article about a sad clown. Now, when I say clown, a lot of people will think, oh, you mean those capital C clowns that, like, there's an entire canon about, like, how much certain people want to have sex with them.
We are not bringing the Clussy into this.
People overestimate the Clussy in Dread and Circuses. It's not even Clussy. It's like... It's fucking, like... It's just, like, fucking, like, mass market anime shit, where it's for, like, weebs who, like, want, like, indication... Sorry, I'm not gonna drag the clown canon. This is not necessarily part of the clown canon. It's from the pre-clown canon when PeppersGhost was making Herman Fucker. Okay, so this is a 38-year-old man named Motormouth.
Is that his name?
I don't think his actual name is given except in, like, Tale. I think it's Barney in the Tale. But anyways, so 2094 is a special little boy who can open his mouth up real big and store just so much in his extra-dimensional stomach. So much. Naturally, this means he's a real class act in Herman Fuller. One problem. We got him.
We got him, boys.
We got him, boys. We got him.
So now he's stuck in a Foundation cell, and
I mean, technically, we were gifted him because the trunk said for Essie.
yeah.
Yeah. Why did that sound like more of a yeah than a yeah? I'm just a little...
Yeah.
What? Don't say that.
Yeah.
So this one, when I was reading it, I legitimately went and looked up a 3-minute YouTube video on how to speak in a New York accent so I could narrate it to myself, because I was very excited in actually speaking all of the lines of Motormouth, because he's a very fun character.
You know what?
Definitely.
My favorite...
I remember... Sorry.
No, you go ahead. You're the guest.
I remember 2014, I was reading this, and I was thinking, okay, this is already in my top 10. Because I remember I made a top 10 before this, and then as I was reading it, I realized, well, I'm taking something out, and I'm putting this in. It's that good.
What you're doing is losing uranium every day. Loss everywhere. My favorite part is the animal cruelty. Personally, big fan.
What's the animal cruelty?
I actually don't remember whether the animal cruelty was. I think it's just, implied, because,
There's, yeah.
No, I
There's,
just, I remember there's a content warning, and I remember reading it, and it said animal cruelty at the, very top. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can read this. And then I read it, and it just was barely there. So
I mean, yeah, the content warnings are definitely very general, just covering all bases.
Yeah, it's one of the things about content warnings is that you put it in because, because you mention it, that's just enough for the content warning.
It's a paradoxical thing with content warnings because, I want to know what the content warnings are because, I mean, there's some that I'll not read, but at the same time I don't want to because if they're the ones that I still will read, I don't want to be spoiled. It's hard.
Yo, don't worry. It only gets better.
Yes,
because the list then goes on to say clowns, rats, being swallowed whole, in brackets, non-lethal. Which, sorry, Uranium is funnier than the article itself.
Okay, but I've been there with... No, I haven't been there with content warnings.
Yeah, I feel like that
officially.
was the worst thing you could have said, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like 4 covers that. It's...
Okay, so should we go over a brief, broad strokes of the thing, or should we, say what we like about it?
Clown get sad, clown get cheer up, I think, or clown die. Clown something at the end.
It's clown... Okay, so...
Clown
it starts
vaguely
with an
hint at
interview
past.
where the guy, talks about, just talks a lot. It's like a standard interview, except Motormouth, he has very long answers. And it's this point you'll note the dialogue is really good. Motormouth has a very distinct voice.
Yeah, people talk about, making sure all your characters in an article have their own distinct voices. Motormouth is Motormouth. There's not PeppersGhost writing Motormouth. It's just there is this character Motormouth.
Yeah, it's something I remember of it might have been a Nostalgia Critic. I used to be a Nostalgia Critic fan. Go ahead and make fun of me. Who said something about how throughout there's a trend of celebrity voice acting, but a lot of Vincent Price's stuff it was never just Vincent. I might be getting it backwards actually. I think it was about the Great Mouse Detective where Vincent Price voices the antagonist and the antagonist feels distinct, not just Vincent Price. That, or I'm getting it backwards. Anyways, yeah, as you were saying, the voice is just fucking amazing. And not only is the voice amazing, the character is amazing. You get an idea of who this guy is, not just from how he talks, but also what he says, because he's very forthcoming with some information. As it goes on, he becomes more forthcoming with more information. I think it really kicks off with Selected Interview 2, where he's encouraged to just talk. And there's this entire section where Dr. O'Sullivan doesn't exactly shut up. The whole section starts with 2094 interrupting him. And let me just set the mood. Never mind, I know where. Okay, so picture this. Lush, green grass, wide open space, blue skies above. Imagine the most perfect day possible. Anomalously perfect, you might say. All the days are like that. Never a rain cloud in sight. Now imagine candy-striped tents, musicians in brightly colored outfits, and balloon animals that prance through the air above you, and clowns that actually succeed at being funny. Picture, if you will, the most beautiful goddamn circus you ever dreamt of, and then forget about it, because it's nothing compared to Herman Fuller's. Of course, it's not always what you call crowd ready. Things can get a bit chaotic at times. Alright, full disclosure, it's a madhouse more often than not, but by golly, when the normies start rolling in, there's not a hair out of place. You can thank our ringmaster for that. Alright.
I don't know how long you were planning on going, but I feel like that could go for a while.
Yeah, that's the thing about Motormouth, is that the guy can go on for a while.
I mean, that was 1.5 paragraphs out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 paragraphs.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It never gets tiring. You just
No,
read
it doesn't.
on.
Like, it does flow well.
Yeah. And, like, you could just read, like... I often, like... often my girlfriend will just tell me I could just listen to you info dump all day. Shout out to Magdalene. I love you.
Shout out to Magdalene.
Or Magdalene. I need to learn how to pronounce her.
Oh, no.
But it's kind of like with Motormouth. You can just, like, listen to this guy talk all day and you'd never get tired. Which is very good with an article, because that gives you so much more time to do a lot of cool stuff. PeppersGhost is great at dialogue. Like, this isn't even, like, what some people think he's best at. Like, PeppersGhost is one of those authors who can just kind of do anything.
Yeah, there's not really, like, a common theme between all of PeppersGhost articles. They're just... I mean, the common theme is really good.
Yeah, there is kind of a whimsy... I think the most common theme, I would say, is whimsy. Not exactly, like, wackiness. There's, like, certain levels of whimsy. There's, like, character whimsy, like 2094. Horror whimsy with some of the other Herman Fuller stuff. Oh, gosh. His whole Herman Fuller series is just... There's a reason that when he forced a GOI, people took to it. And it's because PeppersGhost is a good writer. Oh, look at me. I'm doing a Motormouth on Motormouth.
You are. So let's crash you into a building or something. I don't know. There's probably a better analogy than that. Let's smash your face into a hard rock wall and go to the next SCP.
All right. 4558. So this one's by CaptainKirby and Tufto, which is already completely and utterly unfair. You should not be allowed to, like, put these two together. For some reason, who won CollabCon again?
When was CollabCon?
CollabCon was 2019, and I don't remember who won. Despite, like, one of my most popular... Okay, it was Lieutenant Flops and Clem. May his future projects be easy and fruitful. Who won with something I didn't quite like. And then part 2 and second place, third place, I don't know what I thought of them. I did collect all the final scores, though, and I'm credited for that. And I will say, when I collected Tufto and Kirby's final score, I was so disappointed because 4558 is one of the best horror pieces on this site.
It's horror?
How far did you read into it?
The whole way. What's scary? Thought it was more just like an emotional character piece.
This is why it's so good. Because you can get, like, so much out of it. And it succeeds with each one. Like, for me, it was a psychological horror article about, like, the very perception. Okay, so one of the things it does extremely well is playing with the format. I'm not sure how much of this I should spoil.
All of it.
Spoil it all. Ruin it for
Our
everyone.
viewers get no joy. We ruin every article for them.
Okay, so let me just spoil it. So, 4558 is divided into, I believe, 5 to 6 sections. Let me check.
Do the computer terminal sections count as sections?
I mean, yes, they're not like...
Doesn't only, like, the first one actually have any, like, content, though?
I believe they both have Well, the thing is, like, there are more ways to get into the next section. So the thing is divided into 6 sections, alternating between, like, SCP article and terminal sections. The first terminal section, it's fairly standard. It's about a underground supercomputer collaborated on by what are they called? The Maxwellists and the Fifthists. So the first addendum has a console log as well as certain commands. And the second addendum is always like a exploration log of the team coming down. Here's the trick of the article. Because after the first section, it repeats. There's updates. The object class goes to Keter. There's more information down there. And then addendum 1 comes. And you get to the console log part. For the first part, it seems fairly standard. It's different. It's highlighted in blue, a common thing to show that something has changed between iterations. But soon you get to the second half, because there's 2 sections of console logs. And the console logs go from prayer to what appears to be a sermon. And not a sermon of Maxwellism as the console logs once were, but a very surreal... The best kind of fifithism is that surreal sort of... You kind of get the emotion of what they're talking about, but it all seems inconsequential, like something greater, something that just destroys you. It seamlessly transitions from the console log to a fifthist sermon. And then you get to the exploration log, and it suddenly... things are different. One of the crew members seems to have been erased from existence, and only one of the explorers actually seems to notice. Moreover, the architecture is shifting. Something is going down. So this continues to the next. Between this are the console log sections where one of the explorers talks with users of the computer about switching it on. I don't know how good I'm making this sound.
No, keep going. It only... Listen, any SCP writing isn't good, objectively, so you don't have anything to worry about.
So when we get to the final one, by this point, any logical procession is done away with. The SCP log has been completely corrupted. It is actively giving you a sermon. And as the one sane explorer continues, he comes across Juan. Now,
One true God.
So this is special because most serious articles about the Broken God, you don't actually talk to the Broken God. The difference here is that... Okay, I'm not making this sound good, but the thing is, they've been infected by something terrible.
Well, like, normally Broken God is just that, it's broken, but in this one, the Fifthist worked with the Maxwellists to actually make the God not broken, and it's actually working in this computer.
Yep. And it's terrible. It's horrible. It's bigger than you could possibly conceive. It is joyous about its infection. And it is willing to spread the word.
It is joyous
And it's
about
just-
its infection is such a good sentence.
Oh my god, Captain Kirby. Almost any Captain Kirby piece could, like, be put here. 5552, fucking amazing. Reach Out and Touch. I haven't, no, not Reach Out and Touch. I'm confusing that with, the one, 3449, Captain Kirby's work on End of Death, which is, like, holy shit. Like, people call stuff that I may or may not have written depressing. They should read End of Death. Because that shit will just, like, kill you. And let's not forget Tufto.
Oh, Tufto.
I want the new series to be done a bit more. I really want it to be. The Foundation of Nomads is really good.
Yeah.
It won't be, but...
Yeah,
None of it
it's-
will.
It's too much to ask for because, like, a completed Tufto series, new
it's
Tufto
impossible, I
content,
know.
just, like, be happy with your scraps, peasant.
Damn. Pulled out the peasant? What's wrong with you?
I'm a classist chill. But, yeah, I'm not explaining this correctly, but, like, 4558 gives me the feeling of just being, like, swept away in something breaking.
Lost
It
in
is-
a big bowl. You're
A lot of
welcome.
people misuse cosmic horror as, like, oh, big tentacle thing. This is cosmic horror. Something incomprehensible, totalizing, that cannot be fought. The law of size.
And you would know this. You Uranium Emperor of the Sun. Empress of the Sun.
Empire.
Oh
Emperor.
shit! I didn't even remember that! Damn.
Don't
I'm
even know
sorry.
I guess.
I was like, I'm so funny and cool and creative.
I
and
thought
it's
that's
literally
what you were
using
doing. Is
it.
the
No!
thing.
I was like,
yeah, the thing is, it would work with saying a giant empire.
I was
I'm
just
just going to,
so
like,
proud. And it
I'm just
ended up
going to
being your
destroy
fucking
myself right now and admit that was a Homestuck chat name.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, I'm leaving. I can't continue this podcast. I'm leaving.
Hey, no, you gotta keep this on the rails. I'm literally dying of heat stroke. I'm not doing well
No,
this
I'm
time.
leaving. I'm leaving, and I don't want to hang out anymore. And I don't want to hang out anymore.
Oh my god. I don't remember any of Homestuck. It's like, there's children, there's, like, internet
Okay, I
trolls.
gotta get out. I gotta get out. I'm leaving too. Uranium, just cover for us for the next, like, half hour or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay,
just keep talking. Like, just keep talking.
Okay, do you want to do, like, where did you come from? Where did you go? What brought you to the SCP
No.
Wiki? You know?
Oh my god,
No.
you're so familiar with the podcast. I can't
No.
even do this.
We can't have a fan on. We've never had someone who actually has listened to anything that we've done.
Oh my
before.
god, they know what
It's
it goes
horrifying.
like. Oh.
Okay, let's switch tracks and talk about something that's just, like, not good.
What?
Because I'm going to tell you the article that got me onto the SCP Wiki, and none of you are going to recognize it because it was deleted like 12 years ago.
How are
Let's
you
hear
going to
it.
pronounce the name of this? I'm very excited to find this out.
The URL is SCP what the fuck, but, like, it's stylized as SCP, that one, like, emoji face.
SCP
that's, like,
boobs dash
I'm
J?
furrowing my I'm furrowing my brow and looking at you disapprovingly.
Uranium, that
emoji.
is a pair of tits. I don't know what else to tell you. That is
What's the
not
still
even
above
an
it
emoji.
then?
The story of it?
No, the eyebrows.
Oh, the melanoma? I don't know. Okay, so SCP what the fuck, unlike the other two things, is bad. It's an SCP about shock sites, which I found out about on TV Tropes as, like, a joke SCP, and I thought, what's this whole SCP business? So, I went to read on the wiki I read the SCPs in order because I'm a Chad.
How far'd you get?
600 or so.
So what? Most people get like to 40 or something. I think the furthest we've gotten is like someone getting it to like 200 something.
Okay, so
600?
Here's the thing. In 2013, I read every main lister.
I didn't know we had one of those SCP fans on.
I have brain damage. Okay, so like, do you know what a shock site is?
I do not. I'm gonna need an explanation.
Is it just like a site that has no warnings on it? It's just a link to like a picture of gore or something?
Yes. You might... Can we get demonetized on Spotify if I say like the names of these things?
There is no
Probably.
monetization. There's nothing.
No, there
here
is.
for
We
us.
just need 50 watchers. Come watch us on Spotify, not this YouTube garbage. Come on.
We
Okay,
are not
so-
monetized yet. You're good.
SCP What the Fuck is basically just like this ever-changing thing that's a bunch of shock sites, including it describes them like not in detail, but like enough that like a 2010 internet user who's like only barely exposed to 4chan, like maybe they're on Something Awful casually or on YTMND, might know of these things, might have got linked these things, like, oh, ew. And then like these days, they're like watching gore videos on Live Leak and then like having an orgy with their trans femme girlfriends. I don't know. They're also trans femme. Okay, so like common things is like, okay, so the first one is Goatsy. Second one is Lemon Party. Third is Tub Girl. I should note, do not look these up. You've probably already seen them.
I literally accidentally looked up Goatsy because I was trying to type in goatee. Legitimately?
Okay.
Because I misspelled it really bad.
I don't know what this one is. This was just furry porn. Back in the day, everyone was just a fucking coward. I should note, I say this is about shock sites, but the way this is written is like...
Do you have like a copy of it?
Yeah, it's on the Internet Archive. People have actually written like more explicit stuff. Like, I haven't read any of Ekronak's work, but I imagine he's written more explicit stuff than this shit here. It's just... It's bad. It's just like weak shit. So this is what got me on the SCP Wiki, which...
I mean, that's definitely very telling.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that was a great conversation to go silent on immediately after. I feel like that really speaks about us.
I'm just like reminiscing on... Because despite this being like garbage... This was the better days of the internet because there weren't as many Nazis.
I feel like there
Wow,
were
it actually
just
got
as
up
many,
to
but you didn't
+3.
know.
This Internet Archive, it's at +3.
Yeah.
People love it. People love it. 3
God.
people. That's like all of them almost. Did you know there's almost 8 billion people in the world there?
God. Okay, I'm gonna state an in-joke here. When it says a picture of President data expunged, it's referring to Encyclopedia Dramatica's offended page, which ends with a picture of President Bush. Between that, it's just some of the worst shit you've ever seen in your life. Not me, though, because I was smart enough never to see it.
Okay, just scanning this, I can definitely see what it was. I mean, this is literally just a list of different shock sites you could go to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna list it because that's not the point of the podcast. But I've literally written worse than this. Oh my god.
Well, before you recklessly did my own segment, because I guess you know so much about the podcast.
I'm replacing you.
You didn't hear?
You're taking everything from us. Like, I feel empty now. What do we do? We gotta get rid of this menace.
Do you almost feel like a Snakes and Ladders by Zinn? Perfect
my
segue.
You're pretty snaky.
So, remember how you said 4558 was a character piece?
Yep.
Well, I didn't think that. If you take that, 2094, and Snakes and Ladders, you will immediately know my type. I love character pieces, and Snakes and Ladders is a wonderful character piece. The reason I am not as negatively predisposed to Resurrection as I could have been is because of Snakes and Ladders being the second piece. Snakes and Ladders is an amazing character study about Zin Kuryu coming to Site 19, wanting to study this one butterfly anomaly, and getting rejected, working her way up, and eventually creating her own anomaly to study. That all sounds like standard shit, but Zin is fucking amazing at prose. Oh my god. Oh.
Oh, you love prose, don't you? You just love prose so much, and then I roll my eyes dramatically at you.
Now, okay, she's back.
I don't mean that. I don't mean that. I only
self.
write prose. I can only write prose. I'm sorry.
Finally, you're back to mean Aiko. That was getting scary.
I know. No, but then I immediately felt bad. Did you hear Uranium? That was so sad. I'm sorry. It's okay.
Alright, so...
Oh, God. Please forgive me, Uranium. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I can't be mean to a fan, you know? It's different. I'm kidding. You're not a fan. I'm a fan of you.
So, okay.
Have you ever even written, or have you ever even written for this site? I don't know.
My god, I thought I wasn't supposed to talk about what I've done. If so, I would have dropped my OnlyFans ages ago.
Oh my god! You should have! How else are you gonna make money?
I mean, isn't that why you
God.
came on, to promote that? That was the exchange, is you'd guest on here, and then we'd shout at your fans.
I'm a big fan of someone called UraniumEmpire,
Absolutely.
not the one in this episode, though.
I will say, I've been debating whether or not once I create an OnlyFans to link the link tree to it in my author page, just so I can show people that I write better than them and I'm hotter than them.
So true. So true. I love UraniumEmpire so much, and I read all of their work.
Can you just do that? Can you just link it OnlyFans from your author page?
I actually asked Many Meets this, and they said, we'd really prefer if you, have a link tree that just so happens to have your OnlyFans in it.
Yeah, an explicit link to an OnlyFans seems not like an SCP Wiki sort of deal.
Yeah. I'm a
Wait
trailblazer.
second. If you guys don't know, the really cool author UraniumEmpire has a fan art wish list, and you should look at it. Smiles. Anyways, I'm sure we have other stuff to talk about than art.
Did we say anything about Snakes and Ladders? I don't think it matters.
We've said some stuff
We did a
about
thing.
how good it. This episode is just going to be me rambling about how good it is, interspersed with me calling you counter-revolutionaries who aren't as hot as I am.
This episode is going to be called something. Some part of that OnlyFans bit's got to be the title. I don't know one, but
The people's OnlyFans.
Goodness, I can't believe we're gonna have to start a Skip Squad OnlyFan.
okay, moving on. It's sent to put whatever this is.
Et sanábitur ánima mea. Oh my god, 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 this story. So, the second underread and underrated I ever did, or maybe the third, I linked to Et sanábitur ánima mea because it's fucking amazing, and it's only at 24. And if you take anything from this podcast, it's go read Et sanábitur ánima mea by OriCat. You might just do well searching OriCat's author page, because there's some weird formatting tricks, and how the fuck are you gonna spell that?
Oh, just a quick shout out to this. I think we've mentioned it before, but we do link all the SCPs talked about in the description. So if you want to read any of these, you can just check there.
That's your first mistake. Okay, so just first line. Let me just read the first 3 paragraphs.
You get 5 words. Choose them wisely.
The city is fallen, and Lovatar does not grieve. It is a terrible tragedy. Thousands of men, women, and children with whom she shares blood and flesh through the Empire, through Ioun, all dead between one sunset and the next. The Mechanite Alliance, knowing nothing of mercy, has burned it to its foundations, their weapons melting stone and bone as well as wood and metal. There shall be no death rites even for the inhabitants, because they could not enter the place to recover them. But Lovitar does not grieve. And like, if that prose sounds good, you're correct, it does sound good. It is good. But also, like, it's not just the prose. This is... A lot of Sarkis stuff is accused rightly of being, oh, this is just info dumping. This story takes that and thinks, well, what did the Clavigar actually think? It highlights Lovitar during the fall of the Aditite Empire, just reflecting on her life, her place in, like, the paradise that Ioun is fighting for. Whether or not she even belongs, because she's a former Davite. Not just a former Davite, former Deva. She was part of the ruling class.
I mean, it does focus on that, but then it just breaks down into a awesome fight scene.
Oh my god, the fight scene. Oh my god. Like, awesome fight scene is one way to put it. It's fucking heart-wrenching, just like Orok and Lovitar just working through their own, like, sorrows, their own feelings, their own... Oh, god damn. If you ever got, like, that feeling from fanfic where, like, oh my god, I love this character so much, this hits right in the feels, and think, okay, so I'm an adult now, so I should consume real person literature that has, like, great prose, like, literary significance, etc. Et sanábitur ánima mea, just... Oh my god, it is so tight. It's got a lot of flowery prose, sure, but it actually fucking works. It is so harrowing, and the fact that it is only like plus 24 is a fucking travesty.
I mean, that's the tragedy of tales, though, in general. I've come across so many amazing tales that are at like 17. It's so sad.
You say that, but Snakes and Ladders is at plus 279.
It's old. Who cares?
Et sanábitur ánima mea is considerably younger, yes, but also, like, if that time taken to get to Snakes and Ladders would take into Et sanábitur ánima mea with its current vote count, it would still be underrated. This shit is fucking incredible, and if you've liked anything I've ever done, you owe it to yourself to go read this. Like, oh, this is what I aspire to be whenever I write something like character heavy, like emotional heavy. Oh, I could talk about this all day. Also, shout out to Indices, who, like, write similar stuff. Part of this is, like, one of the things a lot of people, like, forget to do with, like, Sarkism is, like, they talk about, oh, this battle with, like, such and such, where this person, like, had, like, weird Cronenberg sex with whatever for, like, 3 days straight. They forget to, like, they forget to, like, include the feeling. They forget to include the characters. Like, who is Ioun? Like, what does he think? This is that for Lovitar. Like, this is an amazing character study of, like, a character who's often reduced to, like, fertility goddess, like, plus fungus, so we can get away with, like, the weird sexualization by claiming it's all horror. Which, as an aside, I think it's cowardly. She's hot.
Hey, she is so hot. I love Sarkism. Hot. She's so hot.
Ioun's hot.
Ioun? Wait a second. Ioun? I'm bullying you now. I'm bullying you. What was that?
You can't bully me over whether or not Ioun is hot.
No. It's the name. It's the name. How you pronounced it. Ion. You just called him Ioun. What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with me is that I'm a fucking genius.
How could you?
You are far from Metaphysician said ion, it is ion, and I will kill you. I will kill you, Uranium, with my large sword.
I thought it was ion. I thought that was strange when they were saying it.
Okay, fucking fight me then. Like, meet
I will.
me outside.
Let's go. Bang. Pat.
Yeah,
I'd
meet
lose,
me in
by the
Salt
way.
Lake City if you want an ass kicking.
Salt Lake City. That's where a loser would go to fight.
You just called Radiger a loser.
Radiger is a loser. A lovable one. You're welcome.
By the way, this
Hey,
is
we're
not
happy to have you on,
doxing.
Radiger,
They have a
smile.
P.O. box in Salt Lake City. I don't actually know if they live there, honestly.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they just drive all the way out there.
All the way down there?
Every time. You know?
For every single package.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
they
what
just-
else are you going to do?
No waiting in between. You just get your pack. You just hear there's a package. You drive down to Salt Lake City.
Going to
Yeah,
Salt Lake
watch-
City, baby.
Only fools go there to fight, but only cool people go there
Watch
to pick up
Find
their
Us
mail.
Alive. It finally got lesbian erotica fanfic on the wiki proper.
It's been too long. What's the next one? Are we doing Grease Monkey? Let's do Grease Monkey. That's a good one.
Grease Monkey. So Grease Monkey is another thing that I always wanted to recommend because, like, when I was like mass
It's,
doing
SCP-3836, Grease Monkey and the Search for Fast by IAmTheOoga.
I will fully admit to the fact that I memed this article into its current rating. When I was doing introductions, I would always recommend 3836 to anyone who put down their introductions, except the people who already talked about it. In which case, I would introduce what was it, 4504, the Handless Man. That one's. I could have talked about that. That one's just fucking harrowing. Like that. Like
It's so sad. He's got no hands.
it's fucking like. It's elevated. It elevates the wiki. I'll make fun of this wiki so much for like not paying me any money, but like the Handless Man fucking elevates the wiki. Okay, 3836 is just an amazing character comedy piece about a gorilla who wants to go fast.
I wanted to read an excerpt of this one. So first, it's a crossed out section that says, to prevent unexpected modes of locomotion, 3836 must be made to report the intended purpose of the vehicle before testing. And that has been crossed out and has been updated to, entirety of report consists of go fast in all cases, instructions rescinded.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually like the through line. This ape wants to go very fast. To this end, he builds like just weird ass contraptions to just keep going fast. And not only to go fast, but to go fast in fucking style. Painting fire on it, blasting Eurobeat, doing flips in the air.
And so cute, too. He's got little, like, overalls and a tool belt.
Yeah. You actually, like, this isn't just a funny article. You also, like, feel for this, like, ape. You care about him. You want him to go fast. You want him to go as fast as possible. And as the article goes on, he's creating more and more devices until... May I spoil this?
Go on.
Okay, I just
Yeah.
want to info dump about this. He finally
Isn't there,
goes
like,
fast enough. He builds a spaceship, creates a backdoor hatch so he can go inside and actually experience it. And he goes fast enough.
That's not even a spoiler. They say that at the end of the containment procedures.
Yes. But
Yeah,
just, like,
uranium. Jeez.
the final line, fast enough. It's not
Yeah,
even...
uranium. What are you even worried about? It's not...
I don't know, but like the final line, fast enough, is just... It's not even a punchline. It's like emotional vindication.
It's a celebration.
It's celebration. It's the part that make you want to like cheer for this weird ass monkey. Like I fucking love this dude, man. I hope he's still going fast to this day.
Hope we can all dream that. We can all dream.
It's just
Now, I also have a segment that's called, this isn't going to be a recurring segment. That's my, well, it's going to be like a two-part
She's making
segment,
this up
probably.
because she's sad that you took everything.
Wait, you say that like none of this is made up.
Yeah, that's true.
So, no, okay, so this one, I looked in the comments, and the second one is by, I think, Zin. What is this? A reference? What is this? A reference to that other article? Also, it's not. It's Eleni. So, never mind. And Eleni says that she had to remove the picture because it's not CC compliant. But the thing is, it's not proven not CC compliant. Because it's not anywhere on the internet. So, I've tracked this piece down and found out that this is... Hold on. This story is going to take a little diversion while I look through my history because I closed it out of anger last night. But I found out this is actually... Because if you look in the files, you can still see the file. Which is also strange to me that the wiki doesn't also delete the files, because isn't that still, like, having non-CC stuff?
Don't bring
on the
that
wiki?
up, because they don't want lawyers to come after us.
Oh.
Because, like, I actually really like it when they have the file so I can see what the author intended.
My other thing is that if you go onto, like, fandom, like, fandom things for the SCP Wiki, you can find the old images there. Which is funny, because they're also CC, but they don't pay attention. So there's a bunch of, like, I don't know, like, 122's original image is there, there's a lot of stuff.
Here it is. It's Museum Borhav in the Netherlands. Not the Netherlands, I'm sorry. Yes.
CC?
Leiden, Netherlands. And it was an exhibit. It's like an exhibit of this monkey who is just like bone and muscle and reconstructed. And it's a picture by the
Author.
What?
Author? It's by the author. Are you saying?
I don't think so.
Oh.
It's a picture by the museum. And all of the other pictures taken by the museum are listed on Wikimedia Commons as Creative Commons public domain images, and even like another article that uses that image says that it was given to them by the museum and stuff on like a website.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so I actually set an alarm last night that said, word for word, call Dutch Place about Gorilla for 1:30 a.m. in the morning, and woke myself up and called them, because that's when they open at 10 a.m. in the Netherlands, and I called the front desk about it, and I've gotten an email, and I've sent them an email asking them specifically about this image, and so I'm going to update you guys next week, or 2 weeks from now, if I got an email back, and if I can resurrect this image.
New segment. Undermining the supreme authority of licensing.
We hate licensing.
I'm the Batman of the wiki. I shall go against the law to try and get
You
these
and
images
Locke,
back up.
hand in hand, revive every image. In your own ways. You, like, track down people and show up at their door with a gun. But Locke just asked us to draw.
Where's the monkey?
Here's a better way of saying it for Locke. Locke forces artists to draw things for them, and it's horrible, and it's abusive. That's a joke, by the way. I love Locke.
Yeah.
Hey, Aiko, you want
Always
to
pay
introduce
your
your
artists.
segment?
My segment, yes.
Hey, no, actually, Uranium. Have you listened recently enough to even know how to introduce this segment?
Was this the Stonefish episode? Because I was watching a video about a spooky Mario 64 ROM hack. Because
I think we also did in the CaptainKirby.
Yeah,
I watched it,
yeah.
but I don't remember it because I'm a hack and a fraud.
Good.
We have
I'm
successfully
keeping
taken the
everything.
podcast back.
Listen, Uranium, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up, okay? I'm gonna need this all to end because, quite frankly, I don't like SCP anymore, and I want to leave. I want to leave forever and never turn around. So would you please talk about something else?
Okay. So, as some people might know, I'm a professional writer. In the sense that I have been published professionally and paid for my writing. My debut short story, Cholesterol Monoxide, was published in Your Body Is Not Your Body. I'm doing that thing I'm not allowed to do.
No, you're allowed to do it.
Oh, my debut short story, Cholesterol Monoxide, was published in by Tenebris Press in Your Body Is Not Your Body.
That's so amazing. I'm so proud. Is there a difference for you between your professional writing and your on-site writing?
I'd say the difference is that I have a lot more to lean back on in my on-site writing, and I get to be a lot longer about it. Like, part of the thing for the submissions, I think, is that they could not be over 4,000 words, which is a problem for me.
That seems very reasonable to me, but yeah, go on.
I don't think I can write stuff that's over 4,000 words, to be honest. I don't think I've written an article that's that long.
I don't
need anyone to trust me before I can just, like, write some let's go play at the Atoms tier shit. I haven't read that book, so if it's problematic...
I hope it is, so we can cancel you.
I mean, it's like... From what little I've heard about it, it sounds like it's just... You would not be able to put it in, like, any library without getting death threats by chuds.
Thank God.
It's a pretty vile book, from what I hear. No, I've never been that level. I'd say... I've actually been reading Naked Lunch, and I realized, I'm not even at William S. Burroughs level. I never would have been able to get away with this shit. Because I always have to qualify what I write. I've been trying to be more depraved in my writing outside the wiki and inside the wiki. I also...
Yeah, I was gonna say, really? You think that's just outside the wiki?
Yeah.
Just out of
I
curiosity.
just want to drive away all advertisers. Make this thing 100% indie punk.
You also mentioned drawing. And
I've
I
been
don't
learning
want to
to
be horrible, but I've never seen your art before, I don't think.
That's because I don't post it. Because I've spent years working on my writing. I've spent months working on my drawing.
Is it digital, traditional?
Traditional, but I got a tablet that I've never taken out of the box because, like, my executive dysfunction keeps telling me, you should wait until you're moved in with your girlfriend before you do that. And I will be moving in with my girlfriend later this month.
Hey, I'm also moving! Let's go! Later this month. Well,
I moved a month ago. I'm part of
month,
this.
Really. No,
Yay.
you're left out. You're left out. Okay?
No!
You moved last month.
It's
We're
only
moving
been like a
this
month and a
month.
half.
Okay? This month.
I will be included!
Yeah, I'm moving over to St. Louis with my girlfriend. It's going to be real rad. We're going to be able to take care of our cats together, all that shit.
So exciting.
Okay.
The drawing.
So most of my drawing is I see an image on the internet and think, I should practice, and I try to do that. So far, I've done Twilight Sparkle with the head of the SCP-040J cat, an attempt at this one picture of Amber Heard, Lord Stonefish's current Discord avatar, twice. A Toho character who I then decided to put, like, a funny witch hat on. And remember that one dude who could survive car accidents? Like, could survive a car just barreling into him?
Yeah.
That man! The perfect man!
Yeah.
The ideal man!
I drew, like, his head and arms. I also drew my interpretation of 173 that will never be seen.
You have to draw his chest. His chest is the best part, though.
Okay, but, like, consider the following. That would interfere with my drawing of 173, which is, like, a weird mishmash of splash of cement on, like, a cart that, like, uses its weird tube fingers to, like, roll around.
You know, if I have any recommendation, though, since you're moving, and I know you don't want to take it out of the box, I recommend you do. You don't even have to hook it up. Just because when you're moving, having more stuff to throw out is going to suck. It's going to be absolute hell.
Oh, it's already absolute hell just deciding, how am I going to get this in my car?
Yeah, I don't know what my plan is yet.
Planning on fitting it all in your car?
How am I just going to, like, fucking drive from... How am I just going to drive to fucking St. Louis with all this shit?
you're so much in a worse position than me when it comes to moving. I'm very fortunate because I'm moving out of my parents' house, so I can leave anything behind I don't need or I can't fit, which I'm happy about because my worst fear is, like, I know that sometimes you have to get, like, specialty service to throw stuff out, but I'm so anxious about doing that stuff. So I'm like, what would I do if I had
my
something
worst
massive?
fear is insomnia.
Well, maybe you should just sleep more. I have solutions. I'm here any day of the week. You're welcome.
Okay, we've got to rush through this because we're going to reach our record length podcast.
And our emails are like
We've still got the whole
10
emails.
minutes on their own.
Okay, so
We finally got emails, though.
But there's so
that's
many.
a celebration.
There's so many.
We're glad people are enjoying emailing in.
okay,
You
let's
took
do
two.
SCP-4028, which is not the last SCP I sent you, but it is the last one you put on the docket. This is, unsurprisingly, another character piece, and it's by TheGreatHippo, who is, like...
You count this as a character piece?
It's literally about a character.
Yeah, but I count it more as one of the cool log entry pieces.
Uh-oh, we're having another
You read
Reddit
things in a
discourse.
very weird way.
Maybe you both read things in a weird way.
What?
No, I read things in a correct way because, like, I'm the only person that exists, and, like, everyone else is just, like, a demon cooked up by a mad scientist to torment me.
You guys are both wrong. This is literally an SCP.
Have we been doing a good job, by the way?
Yes.
Just wanted to quickly
You've
check.
been doing a good job.
Doing a good job at
You've
what?
been sufficiently tormented?
Oh, goodness.
Yes. I recently
Okay,
quit
good.
SCPD staff because,
You did. I got jump
Yeah,
scared.
I was like, should I message Uranium and be like, hey, it's okay if you don't want to record tomorrow. It's
oh, that's fine. This piece is about Don Quixote, who is going through literature and fucking things up for other people.
Which is
And by
good.
fucking things up, I mean he's being the best character ever. That's a spoiler. Okay, so 4028 is written by TheGreatHippo, which, if you don't know who TheGreatHippo is, you're doing yourself a disservice. Go read his shit now. Everything I said about CaptainKirby also applies to TheGreatHippo. Like, just,
What a way
oh
to
my
plug.
god. He wrote The Laughing Men. He wrote
Counting station?
Counting Station. He wrote Kafka's Parking Garage, which... Okay, Hippo is the only person who understands me because, like, he's looked at one of my pieces that everyone else thinks is horror and, like, realizes, oh, that's a comedy. And he's correct.
You could use that.
Quick shout out to me who also did that.
Yes.
Smile.
Smiles so big and wide. Okay, so 4028 is about Don Quixote. He's going through literature, and he learns about the SCP Foundation. And one of the rawest lines ever, which, like, is super fucking cheesy, but it just fucking works. Because, like, this piece has so much heart, it is so goddamn genuine. Hippo's just good at pieces with a lot of heart that are really genuine and just really affecting. It's the line, "He said you sound like giants." So Don Quixote starts his crusade through the SCP Foundation files. And during that time, he starts fighting through it. And as he fights through it, this whole piece, there's been footnotes, contextualizing stuff. Mm-hmm. And as it goes on, the footnotes get a lot more biting and personal. So Don Quixote is going through the files, vanquishing horrors, and getting more and more wounded. And as he does, the footnotes get more annoyed, and then something special happens. They get a lot more bitter, and suddenly the footnotes are begging Don Quixote to turn back before he dies. And then here's the kicker. The 15th footnote reveals it was not Don Quixote. It was Sancho, Don Quixote's beloved companion, here to rescue Pierre Menard, the actual Don Quixote, from his boring life at the Foundation. I'm just going to read this. Struggling for each breath, Alonso Quijano at last stands before Dr. Pierre Menard. It is only then that Alonso reveals his true identity. Sancho Panza, loyal retainer and proud squire to the bravest, noblest knight who has ever lived. Sancho attempts to return his master's sword. He cannot lift it. His many wounds overwhelm him. He falls, but just before he hits the ground, goes out of the thing. An old fool catches him, and then I and I wasn't tearing up for effect back there. That was me actually tearing up, because this fucking hits. Just like, the original Don Quixote ends with like, Quixote just broken, alone, just like useless, dying in absolute misery. And just like the ending of this with like his loyal retainer who has always been his anchor just coming back to say that he appreciates him, just God damn it.
Listen, I know it's
this is how you reference other media.
Yeah. It's not like an Easter egg. It actually has something to say about it. It puts a unique spin on it. And, like, in some ways, it's kind of a sequel to it. Because, like, I think, like, the author of Don Quixote would have saw this as, like, an unofficial sequel to it. Given how literature was back then. Because the original text was very metatextual. And this kind of... I can see this, like, being an ending where, like, Don Quixote is forced to retire as, like, into, like, some fictional department. And, like, Sancho Panza comes to, like, show him that, like, he's appreciated. God, this is so fucking affecting.
Yeah, you're like tearing up and we're over here just like hymns. The funny guy.
Such a funny guy.
But
you're like tearing up at this piece and I'm over here laughing at the Harry Potter one where he just comes and like stabs what's his face?
Hagrid.
The Hagrid. He just impales Hagrid and is like, "Don't follow the wizards, Harry. You're better than this. Be noble." And then Harry just like suffers at the house forever.
Oh my god. Yeah.
You got through it all. You got through it all, alright? You did great.
Even when Hippo's being genuine, like, dead serious with something, he finds humor. Like, people, like, look at Hippo's pieces and think, oh, this is horrifying. This is, like, a horrifying example of, like, life under, like, the neoliberal hellmouth. And, like, Hippo understands that. But he also understands that the fact that everything sucks is kind of funny, actually. Like, you cannot help but look at the sheer terror of real life and laugh.
It hurts.
I think he said somewhere that he considers Kafka's parking garage as not terribly distinct from his own life, which is the way of all comedy writers.
That is a good one.
Oh my god.
God bless.
Well, it is time. Do we have a theme? We don't have a theme for this. It's emails. Get over it. Stop laughing.
Wait, what order do we start in? Listen, guys. Every time I'm supposed to read the second email, and Tstaffor messed it up.
Did I mess it up again?
Yeah, you put the one you want to read, so it would be in my position of reading.
No, it's not. The two I want to read are... No, they're not. Yeah, okay, I'll just do the...
There's two you want to read. You want to read Grigori's, don't you?
No, you can read that.
Thank God.
Whatever.
Okay, which two are you...
I'm gonna read this one.
Okay.
Get over it. Get out of here.
Uranium,
run away.
do you want to read one?
Hi.
Do you want to read one?
Do you want to read one?
Okay.
Guess, will you save us from this disagreement?
You can read the
I'll
Col
read-
13 one.
I'll read Col 13's first. Hello, it is indeed the 13 indeed guy. I'd like to ask you all, what is your favorite SCP Wiki contest? And if you have one, what is your favorite entry?
Okay, I have this already answered. I don't know if you do, Tstaffor. Or you, Uranium?
I do, 100%.
Okay.
I answered this question in the first ever episode, but whatever.
True. My favorite contest was the Renaissance Con, because it was the first contest I ever participated in, and it was my first team contest too. And I had so much fun, and I realized that I never wanted to participate in a contest unless it was team ever again. I misinterpreted the question as what my favorite piece from it, like what I wrote was, and I only wrote one, so I didn't prepare this. I don't know is my answer.
Mine is 100% the Cliché Con. I think that came out with some really great things, because I mean the thing with it is, if you're doing a cliche, you have to make the story cool, because the focus can't just be on that cliche then. And so it really came out with a lot of like really creative takes on well-known things. And I think D11424 in the Land of Too Many Doors is my favorite entry from it, just because of the absurdity in the exploration log.
Yeah.
Very true.
I actually don't know what I'd say. I think it's a split between SCP-5000 contest, because I think there are a lot of good entries in that.
There are a lot, yeah.
And also it wasn't like a bunch of like long ass shit, long ass shit, not in the sense of like the entries were shit, but like long ass novellas that honestly, like a lot of them did feel like your writing quality is not good enough for you to be this long. At least in 6000. That crack fiction contest, because it led to some of the greatest pieces on the wiki. Like XXX K Orgy 5 Council is a legitimately good piece I will always defend, despite its like clickbaity name. And Nightmare Fest, which is kind of cheating because I did run that contest. There was so much good in Nightmare Fest. I always love like horror stuff. It's one of my favorite genres. I always wanted to do a contest where the goal was not to be the best, but to be the most horrifying. And I think people really tried their best there, and I appreciate that.
So true, homie. Sorry,
You are so correct.
I'm just thinking about the idea of the difference between a good entry and a scary entry, and I'm scared as to, like, if you were to put that in the rules, what people would argue that.
Well, here's the thing.
Because it's like, this is scary, but it's just not good.
Here's the thing.
I got freaked out, and I hate...
I'd say, like, the best entry was, like, a toss-up between Tattletale and Rounder House's piece.
Tattletale won for me. That was my favorite.
I will say the scariest piece for me was Knitting Needles.
I have not read that.
Was that Dodo?
Yeah, that was Dodo. That was the one I voted for. Just because, like, it had this creepy vibe to it, like, even, like, it nailed something that some of the entries didn't, which, like, it understood that it could be scary just by implication without actually trying to be scary. Like, the implication of someone just inhabiting your body and actually having them talk and realizing this person isn't who they say they are. It's some real, like, his face all red shit. Also, like, the dream sequence was just, like, oh my god.
I loved so many entries in that contest. It wasn't my favorite because I didn't participate in it, and I'm so, selfish. But it was definitely, it had some of my favorite, and that's because I love Halloween so much. And it was so good. Because it wasn't even that, like, everything was scary or anything. It was just that things kind of had a Halloween-y vibe, and I really liked that. I was going to participate. I ended up not, because me and someone else were going to go in the same category. I think it was Rounder. And I was like, I'm going to lose. It's not even worth it. I'll just post it on my own time.
And you're right. You did lose.
In theory, I lost by not posting at all. But yeah, I don't know if you guys ever heard the creepypasta The Man in the Fields, but it's my favorite creepypasta ever. And I wanted to, like, honor it by writing something kind of in its, like, game. So there was, like, a scarecrow. There's like, a scarecrow that turned out to be, like, someone's body or wait over where someone was buried, and then it starts like haunting this house, and this woman's just traumatized. But it was great.
Let me search
Ow,
that.
fuck.
Because like, I used to be so into creepypasta.
You totally should. It's one of those ritual ones, but it was just so good. I don't know. I loved it. It's nothing big. But yeah, we have more emails.
We do. This one from Guire,
Gary?
which is, "Hi, I've been watching your podcast for a while and really enjoyed it. SCP-related podcasts have been what made me join the site and became an author, so your work is greatly appreciated. In the topic of this episode's guest, I haven't read that much by UraniumEmpire, mostly because some of the themes UA tackles is too heavy for me, but everything I have read so far is amazing, amongst the best prose in the site, so learning what some of UE's favorite things on the wiki will be really... things on the wiki will be really neat."
Which is true, because all Yui talked about was prose.
Yeah, mostly.
I will say something, like, a lot of people have said, oh, you write some really disturbing shit, and a lot of this goes on shit that I don't really consider all that disturbing, but then I listen to, like, Sophie's stream on, like, Caleb Maupin's, what was it? I think his BreadTube book. Caleb Maupin is, like, a weird, I don't even know what to call him. He's like a tanky with weird ties to the LaRouche movement.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucked.
With you, I agree with Gare, which is why, if you guys don't know, I'm on Site News, and I had to interview Uranium because they won a funny little contest, because you think you're so funny, don't you?
With my friends.
It was so upsetting because I participated in that contest and I lost to you.
Okay.
But no,
yeah, like,
I had to read all their articles. I say like it's a fucking chore. I had to read them all because I had to interview them on the articles, and it scared the shit out of me. Like, I remember after reading it all, I was going to interview you guys immediately, but then I had to take like a full day to just like lay there because I was questioning my life, because it's so heavy, and it's not my view of the Foundation, but I respect others' views and how they interpret it. So to me, the Foundation is like good for author avatars and having fun. But this series, it was so scary. The Foundation were like, we're gonna fucking kill you if you think of leaving. We're gonna ruin your goddamn life. And I was like, holy shit, don't do that.
yeah, it's like, okay, so like, Sophie said something about like, I thought, oh, we don't need content warnings, and then she's like, oh no, my brain's just rotted because I exposed myself to too much internet poison. And that's me.
It's so scary. Uranium is horrifying. If you see Uranium in a room with you, run, because something bad's gonna happen. You don't want to find out. Speaking of horrible, let me move on to our next email. I'm so horrible. So next we have a beautiful email from Dr. Ember. Just wanted to say that I'm loving the podcast. All the guests you've had on have been awesome. Even that one guy, what's his name? Gregory Carpet? The one that's like never once written for the wiki, especially not for a massive collab project spanning various corners of the SCP universe, all as a metaphor of global warming that possibly could have been listed as, let's say SCP-6000. 6,500! Inevitable! I suck at numbers.
I mean, you could have just said 6,500. That also works.
I was struggling, okay? Man, if only I'd done something like that. Or even had an equally popular podcast bringing together on and off-site fans to share what they love about SCP, which to me personally I would call simply creative people. Too bad he's just some random amateur you brought on. Anyway, love the show. And hope you bring me on one day. And to that, Ember, we say, we don't fucking know. Our wait list is a year long. Smiles.
I kind of have similar thing for you with Inevitable, where, I don't think the Foundation is like this at all, but, like, fine. I'll, like,
it's
I
a
can
nice
see it.
view. Yeah,
I respect it.
I think that's where I come from, because I read a lot of stuff that's my view, but I like reading what other people think, because then I'm scared of them. Like you, Yui. Where's your mind?
I will say my goal is to have more people just write increasingly depraved and increasingly political pieces for the wiki until it becomes like just a hub for like the most pretentious hipsters who are like, ugh, well, my favorite book is Naked Lunch by William S. Burroughs. Ugh. My favorite book is American Psycho by Bret Elliston. Ugh.
We like to talk so much, but the problem is that we're far over our usual mark, and this is scary. Tstaffor, you got the next
two
one.
more. We can power through this. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I just don't want to read them in order,
Hi
so
there.
I'm letting you go to...
You
I'm
wouldn't
letting
have
you go
heard
to
of
one.
me, but I'm a big fan of UE and the way they elevate fiction on the SCP Wiki with the trash fire and other things. Also, this is hello for you and UE and Tstaffor. But not Aiko. Bye. That's by Grigori
You
Karpin.
said my name wrong, and you're on my fucking content! This is my podcast! How dare you!
I hope that... I tried to be as, like, faithful as possible. I hope that didn't read as, like, me making fun of you. I don't know how I sound.
I just realized that that's just how Grigori says it, and so you know what? It goes well. Fuck you, Grigori Karpin. I hate you. I'm gonna delete your episode, and you mean absolutely nothing to me. XOXO.
This is why I don't give Aiko the deleting and uploading privileges.
Oh,
Yes.
Anyway,
I can't wait for episode 9 where you cancel me.
Oh, you should be so excited, because it's next episode.
now this is the article. It's not next episode, you buffoon.
No, I know, but every other...
9 is 2 episodes
But once
from now.
the next episode comes out, is what I'm saying, because we always hate our
Yes.
past.
Yeah, well... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
enough.
awful weird how none of them have posted since they appeared on your podcast.
It is strange.
That's true.
So this segment is something we've featured unofficially before, but our closing out segment is a certified official segment now. We're gonna roll the bones and open a portal to hear about Good A's Alagodden adventure. Whoa, so that's probably terrible audio, and I'm gonna cut that out, but I rolled some dice. We'll see how that sounds. So this is Good A's Alagodden adventure. That's another dice. Roses are red, there is no blue. Glad to see stonefish exists here too. I've made some connections with your old guest so keen to help me find my way free. For the king we shall be seen. You may find that this bit has grown old, but this Alagodden Ark, this cast has been sold. But to this Alagodden Ark, this cast has been sold. Perhaps I will find my way free so soon to a land much more green, so don't be a fucking prune.
Needs more debauchery.
Yeah, this is clearly amateur work here. Hasn't stayed long enough in the Alagodden plane. Actually, Uranium, we're gonna do you justice, and we're gonna let you pick what dimension we throw you in. You have 3 seconds. 1, 2.
Well, no, don't count up. We should count down. So 3, 2,
Aditum?
1.
Scarlet King, let's go.
Oh god.
You want to go to Aditum? Why would you go to Aditum?
Because I'm weird about Sarkics.
Okay, well, I guess, but I'm just
I
saying.
literally wrote like I literally wrote like Maddox and the Mechanite with Metaphysician.
I love Metaphysician, I love Malice Graves, and I love anyone who writes for Sarkicism, but I'm just saying it might not end well.
I'm actually working. Oh no, I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Haha. Well, it's okay. It's okay.
Well,
We're ending everything
I'm
here
sorry
anyway.
that I keep plugging things.
So,
This is the end of everything.
as we
And as we say at the end of
God damn it.
and as you say at the end of every episode,
Bush did 9/11.
Bush did 9...
Bush did 9/11.
Yeah, I guess.
Have a good night, everybody.
Awesome. That was horrible. I didn't record any of it.